Hello everyone, Fatty from Pack a Punch Traders here. Gonna go over the top 4 plays from the watch list for tomorrow. We got one of them being PEGY. This one been on watch. It's taken off from 1 to 7, or even a little further than that. Now we're getting the backside. It is not that far off of the highs. Ideally, it does fade some more, but it does seem as though it has chosen its direction. It wants to fade for a bit now. It's put in the top. You got lower highs here, fading volume, breaking down instead of breaking out. So we're getting the backside. Now we'll just keep it on watch for a momentum shift, for dip buyers to come in, for short sellers to start locking in profits when it fails to head lower, and that will trigger the multi-day bounce. We gave an example of one, SNTI from last week, looking for that high a day break, and that took off from 3 to the low 4s. And then there was also, what do you call it, on Friday, CNXA, except this one ended up gapping up, so it was an ignore. It got to the 50s, I believe, or 40s. So this one outdid itself pre-market. Shorts got out, and that's why for me, at that point, it was an ignore. So that's something I don't always talk about. When these plays absolutely take off pre-market, they're getting vertical. Most times, the shorts are getting out within that move. So what we're looking to fuel the play is already dying. So as the shorts are out, if there's not many left in it that fail to get what they want, it's just going to head lower. There's times where it takes off, but then it holds up, consolidates, and then it continues later on. That happens. I'm not really concerned with outliers. According to my data, that's just not going to be the move. So I'm just going to stick to it. And here we are with CNXA showing that just ignore the ones that absolutely take off pre-market. So that, good lesson for PEGY. As well as BTB. This is going to be another one. Still on watch. Multi-day bounce. Been a couple weeks now. Just going sideways. Failing to crack 15 beautifully. Let's just see if we can get something out of it, or else it'll be very disappointing to see it crack. It keeps trying to hold up. Each time it comes to that 15-cent area, it just fails to break down. So I hesitate to use the word hope, because every single day, as we can see, it's holding 15, does not do what we want. I am thinking, though, that if this continues to happen, shorts will get squeezed out, and dip buyers will see this thing from the 40s. Now it's way off of the highs. It should be due for a bounce. Could be due for a bounce. So yeah, keep BTB on watch. And speaking of way off the highs, next up we got PBTS. This one's down 90% from the highs or so in the past couple of weeks, and showing some bottoming. Here after hours, we are trying to hold up. It's holding around 19. Sure, you can say that's what happened over here in these few days, but that offered a decent bounce opportunity as well before it just continued to move lower. So we'll see if this being way off of the highs and just being one-sided could turn into a solid bounce. Already moving a bit after hours. We'll see if we get what we want. That high a day break we usually are looking for. Or if we treat it like a first green day, just look for a VWAP, open price, pre-market high. Just line up all the indicators in your favor, ideally, or most of them. Doesn't have to be to a T, but you want there to be a bullish indicator. Ideally, think stack. You don't want just one thing. Ideally, it holds a VWAP, open price, pre-market, a breakout level, or rather, in this case, a key level like 21, where it's been holding down for a couple of days. All these things could trigger a move, so a short squeeze higher. So keep that on watch. Then we got FNHC. This one was a pretty good call to keep an eye on it. The one I'm actually really thinking of is AGFY. That was a great call from the watch list. Real quick, this one we're talking about. Last week it could go either one of two ways. It can either get stuffed and we'll have a multi-day bounce later on, or if the volume comes through and it keeps holding up, it can turn into a 115 breakout to test the mid ones. got to 154. Absolutely great call. Didn't even play it. I ignored Friday. Pretty much wasn't really, not much really calling my name. This one was, but I decided to stay away, play it safe, and here we are. What we usually talk about, we need that excessive volume to really break out over the that initial high from that first green candle that we're breaking over. As you can see, a lot of volume. It fades. With this kind of volume here, probably wouldn't be doing anything. But what we're doing on Friday, that triggers a whole move higher. So volume is key. That is usually probably the best indicator there is. If we're being honest, that really displays the story. Sometimes you'll misread it. I do that at times. But more times than not, volume, knowing how to read volume is going to get you on the right side of the trade more times than not. Was that it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I got 2 multi-day bounces. PBTS, that's way off the high. We'll call that a multi-day bounce as well. And then FNHC, gonna look for that continuation. It's failing to break down. It's making higher lows on the daily chart, even though not pretty. It is still offering the higher lows. Demand is trying to come back. So if we could hold up above 65 cents, which is previous day high a day, that could lead to a move to test 69 cents, 70 cents, which is the multi-week breakout. And then from there really is not much resistance. I hesitate to think or to just outright say this thing's going to go 50% or more, because there really is not much resistance until the low ones. But I will always be playing things cautiously, letting singles add up over time. So we'll just be looking to play this from 70 to 80 cents, maybe a little bit higher than that. So in here I got 80 cents plus. Where are we at? Right here. But yeah, another one to also keep an eye on, Sober. I'm not going to have it as a main watch, but this thing also is making higher lows on the daily chart and failing to break down. So any day, if this thing just fails to break down, it could bring in the volume we need. Shorts getting squeezed, dip buyers coming in, buyers to breakouts will set this thing up to go from the breakout of 4-ish to who knows. Also has got clear skies. Just play the chart. Every whole dollar, half dollar area. That's key psychologically. Read the momentum, the volume, the price action. Is the play choppy or is it having clean moves? All these things to consider when judging momentum. So we'll just wrap it up there. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Hope this was useful. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Besides that, I'll get the whole watch list on Twitter out on Twitter in a minute. Yeah, just refresh, study up some more, and get ready for tomorrow. Everyone have a great weekend.